Okay, check.
Won a race this season, had we? So we could become 7th different winner of the year. So that'd be a good thing to have so many different winners in the team. It's putting a long way clear now, pretty clear.
Okay, take the ticker bar down, bring RT&P in, count us in for 5. Well, hello everybody, I'm back on the podium here at Snetterton. For the final time today we go live and it's for the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup, the final race of 2022. But there's been a big twist, a very big twist indeed. As we saw, race 1 was full of drama. It was Mike Williams who took the win in the end, with Mark Eales coming home in 4th. Although, as we know, Jack Ashton and Dan Bolster are non-competing runners in the championship, so they don't score any points. However, Mark Eales, championship leader, was disqualified from race 1 for a technical infringement. So Mark Eales DQ'd from race 1, scores zip nada. Mike Williams takes the win. We're not too sure what that quite does for the championship yet, but we will find out for you by the end of this broadcast. But that is huge. Williams wins race 1. Mark Eales technically finishes 2nd. DQ'd. Wow. Okay, we go into the final race of the season with it all to play for then. Mike Williams and Mark Eales going toe-to-toe for the championship. Also, Tim Shooter, Matt Simpson going toe-to-toe for 3rd place in the championship, although it is big advantage to Tim Shooter in that one after Matt Simpson sadly retired from race 1. Right, we're going to get ourselves into position for this because not long to go before the race starts. And after race 1, we caught up with a very happy Mike Williams. Here's what he had to say.
Mike, I can't talk after that. Were you screaming, shouting?
Oh, screaming, oh, shouting. Is it, you lost your helmet?
No.
How was it though, before you run off? I mean, you're catching Jack like the rate of knots. Did he have a problem, or did you? I heard something about a gentleman's agreement?
No, yeah, it was a gentleman's agreement, basically. Jack and I were sort of battling at the beginning. He got a really bad start, so I thought, off I go. But it was really wet out there. I thought it was a dry track, but offline, as soon as you go offline, it's treacherous. It's not that wet bit, it's that greasy, slidey. So as soon as you're off the racing line, it's rotten.
Yeah.
But basically, he got past me down on one of the straights, and I thought at that point, I'm not racing Jack, so I'm not really going to push it, because I did a little bit, and then obviously there was one of those moments, and I thought, it's not worth it. So the car behind me and the car in front weren't championship scoring points today, so what was the point? So I just kept it where I needed to keep it, on the black stuff. And it was just one of those races where I just had to keep it there. The biggest challenge was me, because I wanted to go faster. I wanted to race Jack, but he was probably a bit too quick today anyway in that car, so I didn't want to risk it.
Well done anyway. It's nice that you have these sorts of agreements as well. It's it's good, isn't it?
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So they're not scoring points in this race, so they just come out
we
the way.
We don't want politics in club motorsport.
No, it's not worth it.
Exactly. Cheers, mate. Well done, mate. So that was Mike Williams earlier, and there is confirmation of the race results from race 1, full of drama. Confirmation at the bottom as well. Mark Eales was disqualified for a technical infringement. Mike Williams taking the win. Jack Ashton coming home in 2nd place. And it says Aston, it is Ashton. I think it's just the TSL error there. Dan Bolster, what a race from him, by the way, in 3rd place. Just a reminder, Jack Ashton and Dan Bolster, though, they're not scoring in the championship. It's their first outings here at Snetterton. They are non-scorers in the championship here. What a great race result that was then for Richard Gerard, who ends up second place technically. Robbie Kennan then coming home on track in 5th place, and it was Dan Willis. Tim Shooter, very important for Tim Shooter, finishing 7th place. He was locked together coming into this weekend, level points on 117 with Matt Simpson, but 7th place for him, strong result. Richard Jessup in 8th, then we had John Moore, Phil Goodwin, Chris Sobey, Timothy Davis, Kyler Gerard, great result for Kyler there. Stephen Williams, Neil Burnett, Richard Cowley, Luke Johnson, just touching on Kyler as well. She's, bless her, she's got quite a bad cold this weekend, and she had issues in qualifying. Delighted to say managed to get the car going, and boy oh boy, that was a great race. Unfortunately, we did lose a few drivers as well. Les Tyler, Tony Howe, Ben Young, Matthew Simpson, and as we saw, Mark Eales disqualified from the race. What ramifications that might have in the championship, we will find out for you, because I'm not totally sure, to be brutally honest. Now, today, because it's the final race of the season, we've had a number of Metros on track. In fact, the biggest grid we've seen for about 6 years. 22 Metros have been circulated to Snetterton 300 track. He also had a track parade at lunchtime as well, and it's not just the race cars that we're doing the track parade. We caught up with one gentleman who brought his classic Metro down and gave us a little look around Roll VT. How you doing, buddy? You all right? Good to see you, mate. You well?
Yeah. Non-racing car.
Oh, let's have a look at it. So this is your, is this, how often do you drive this? Is it a daily?
No, it's not daily. It's just a bit of fun, really.
I'll tell you what, it's in incredible condition.
I love car shows, so yeah, I've had it recently resprayed back in June.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a few little modifications to it. I'll try to keep it standard as I could.
Yeah. Original, I love the brown interior, by the way. That is,
it's original, and it's only done literally 26,000 miles original.
26,000 miles?
Yeah.
Wow. What plate is it?
It's not 83A reg.
Oh, A reg.
And the only difference, the only sort of extras or mods I've done to it is I've put the later lattice wheels on it, and I've also done a monoflow exhaust system.
Wow.
That's pretty mainly the mods really it's had. Underneath, obviously, as you know, they used to rot, known as like, one sort of piece of tin really. So learnt by the lessons. So my mate who actually runs the business, he got installed that. Learnt by the lessons, so we sealed up all the water traps.
Oh, wow.
Underneath the arches all been dripped by Raptor.
Right.
Underneath it's all Raptored. So it's I spent quite a lot of money on that car.
How long have you had this Metro then? How long?
3 years.
So is it? I always say labour of love, but it's a love project, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a love project because I've got bored with Metros.
Yeah.
I love them.
What is it about Metro then? Tell us. I mean, I love them. Most people watching love them, but for those who are watching, think, they're just little cars.
Well, yeah, exactly that. I mean, we're back in the 1980 when they were released. When they're sort of brought out to the general public, they were what they were. They're like today's Corsa.
Yeah, yes, they were. Yeah.
And really, they're just bought as run-around cars. A lot of them.
Yeah.
They were used to do the job, and once they've done the job, that was it. It's only now that you've sort of realised the Survivors are classics.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they are sort of a wanted classic now. I think.
They are.
If you look on eBay, and you can look at ones that are probably not even half as good, and they're fetching 4,000-5,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, to me that's worth a lot more than that. For me, that's unsellable.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like.
Do you know what I mean? I don't intend to sell it. So.
I'll give you 100 grand for it. No chance. I don't have 100.
That'd be like, there's a check. I can buy more there to get more up to date. Yeah, more back to the standard then, can't I?
But thanks so much for sharing your story. Incredible. Really, thank you for coming down. I really appreciate it. So that was the track parade a little bit earlier. It's lovely to see so many Metros. What a way to finish the season on a real high here at Snetterton. And the Midget Sprite Challenge race just ahead has just finished. Checkered flag has fallen, and we are very shortly going to be going racing for the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup Race 2, and the final race of the season as well. If you do want to check out the season results, do head over to the Metro Cup website. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight through to the Metro Cup website. So you're just currently looking at the midget and Sprite Challenge cars, just finishing up, just coming over the line, finish up their season. Big thank you to the MG Car Club all season. What a year we have had, but it all comes down to this for the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup. Remember, we can see your comments. We do want to hear from you. This is your show for the final time with the MG Car Club this season. It is almost time for the track action. And we've got a question for you. Red sauce or brown sauce? What is the sauce of champions? Is it red sauce or brown sauce? I think red sauce is probably just edging it at the minute, and rightly so in my opinion too. Get your comments in, we can see them, we want to hear from you. Tell us who you're supporting in this final race of the season. What a year it has been. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button to our channel to watch even more live sport in 2022. It's live, it's free. Think Drive to Survive. And you've pretty much got us, only we're a bit better.
Well done. Good victory. Yeah, we needed to after.
And if you're watching this as well on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button too, helps us out. But it also means we're going to get these talented drivers seen by even more people as well. If you're watching on Facebook, hello. Tell us which page you're watching from. We're broadcasting to a number of different MG Car Club pages, and of course a big thank you to our broadcast network, the likes of Pit Lane News, Tin Top Racing, Last Lap Magazine. Big thank you to all Pit Lane News, World of Motorsport. And of course to all of our international viewers. We've got a big network over in Australia, over in South Africa, Germany, all corners of the world. The MG Car Club has been broadcast here. We're at Snetterton in the UK, and for one final time we dance with the Metros, and we will be crowning our champion in about 25 minutes. It's been a hard season, but it's been a close season, hasn't it? It's been one of the best we've ever seen, and it's also the largest grid we've seen for a long time, at least 6 years. I reckon it's been at least a decade since we've seen this amount of Metros going racing in the UK club scene. It's quite incredible, really. In fact, with 22 cars, they're one of the largest grids in motorsport, and they certainly are the largest grid here we've seen today with the MG Car Club. So hats off to everybody involved. Hats off to Emma Cross, Kim James, everybody involved with the MG Metro Cup. It has been an absolutely magnificent season. Big thank you to Hickford Construction as well, the headline sponsor. Have been a headline sponsor for a couple of seasons now. So a big thank you to Hickford Construction. So the midget and Sprite cars have just made their way off. I'm just having a little look around the circuit. There is a couple of cars actually. If we look over the other side, there's a recovery truck there. It looks like somebody's maybe off in the gravel, so there's just going to be a little bit of work done whilst they clear that car away, and we will have the final race of the season. Now, I know I keep saying it's the final race of the season for the Metro Cup. It's actually the final race of the season for the MG Car Club in general as well here in the UK as well. The Metros have the honour of closing out the season, and they've done everybody proud. So a big thank you as well to Mark Bolsh at the MG Car Club and everybody who make these race meetings possible. We're looking forward to being back in 2023 as well. I tell you, it's like the temperature is absolutely plummeting here at Snetterton. It's really quite cold as we approach the early evening here. Time is of course ticking. There is a curfew. I think it's about 6:30. We've got plenty of time to get the race in. They've just got to clear that Midget and Sprite Challenge car out the way. So it's a Snetterton 300 circuit here in Norfolk. Race 1 full of drama. It was a greasy track. Certainly where we're stood, certainly see the best of the action. It was greasy round here, but most of the cars, well, up until about 8 minutes to go, we still had all 22 runners on the way. Unfortunately, Dick Trevette was unable to start the race, so we could have had 23. Richard Cowley did not take part in qualifying due to an issue with the car. Managed to get it out, managed to get it going again, and was allowed to complete 3 qualifying laps during the lunch break, and did get out for race 1. Looks like he'll be out here again for race 2, so we should have our full complement of 22 cars. It could have been 23, so close, but 22 isn't so bad at all, is it, when at various times over the last few years or so we've been down to 10 or so cars. We're now back up to an incredible complement of 22, and well deserving of their own grid here. Well, it's a beautiful evening despite being cold. We've had rain, we've had it all. And I'm hearing a few engines starting to rev up as well. Get in touch with us, we can see your comments, we do want to hear from you. Red sauce or brown sauce, what's better? Whilst we wait for the cars to come out, tell us. Last week, or well, at Alton Park, we asked the question, tea or coffee. Tea sadly won that. I think that's completely wrong. But let's make sure we right a wrong there. Red sauce or brown sauce? It's got to be red sauce, hasn't it? Surely. So as you can see, the flatbed is just making its way down now. It's going to get off the side of the circuit. I wonder if they can go around, because if they can get into that middle section, there is a service road that actually runs right through the heart of Snetterton, and it can get you to the inner paddock without actually having to go over the track. So they can get in there pretty quick. Just see where they're moving that car to. We do want to go racing sooner rather than later. I know it's so difficult to judge when to go live, because if you go too soon like this, it can take a long time. But if they don't have to do that, we'll probably be 2 or 3 laps into the race by now. As it is, they are going to come down the service road next to us as well, so we're going to get a good view actually of that. So that's quite handy to see, isn't it? They're literally going to come right past our toes. So you'll see one of the midget Sprite cars just get pulled past us along the service road.
That was racing at 22 minutes and 17 seconds over 9 laps, an average speed of 71.9.
And I'm delighted to say here the Metros are out on track as well, so they are behind the safety car at the minute. So the Metros about to come through. There they are on your screen now. It's Mike Williams leading away from Jack Ashton in second place. There's Dan Bolster. Richard Gerard is 4th place. Robbie Kenning, there he is in 5th. There is Dan Willers in 6th. There's Tim Shooter is 7th. Then we have Rob Jessup. What a great drive by him, by the way. Then John Moore. Then Phil Goodwin. There goes Chris Savory with the pink wheels. Not going to miss him, are we? Tim Davies, what a run he had through, by the way. Started stone dead last. And look at where he's starting. There is Kyla Gerard. She had a great race as well. Steve Williams goes through. Neil Burnett, Richard Cowley and Luke Johnson. We've got Les Tyler, the drivers who didn't finish. Les Tyler, Ben Young, Matt Simpson and Mark Eales. They will start as they finish that race. Of course, we had a number of DNFs too. So your grid will look like this. Mike Williams on pole, Jack Ashton in 2nd, Dan Bolster in 3rd, Richard Gerard in 4th, Robbie Kennan is 5th, Dan Willers is 6th, Tim Shooter is 7th, Richard Jessup is 8th, John Moore is 9th, Phil Goodwin in 10th, Chris Savory 11th, Timothy Davies in 12th, Kylie Gerard is 13th, Steve Williams is 14th, Neil Burnett 15th, Richard Cowley 16th, Luke Johnson 17th, Les Tyler 18th, Tony Howe 19th, Ben Young 20th, Matt Simpson 21st, Dick Trevette 22nd, Mark Eales is 23rd, although there is no Dick Trevette, so it is 22 runners and riders. 22 runners and riders here for the final time in 2022 with the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup. They're on the formation lap, just one formation lap. The lineup, we will be lights out in about 25 minutes. We will know who our champion is. Is it going to be Mike Williams? Is it going to be Mark Eales? He got DQ'd from race 1. Massive drama late in the season with Mark Eales' disqualification. I'm not sure exactly how it stands. I'm going to see if there's any information actually on the website just to find out. But my word, that is could throw a massive curveball into this one.
really he's fishing quite good. He's ahead of him, but he's quite a few positions ahead of him as well, and they're on opposite ends of the grid. But we see other dramas already today, so we've had dramas just about in every race, haven't we? So, yeah, well, we don't want to put
So we will get confirmation at the end. I just heard that it's, well, we'll find out after anyway. I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to get too carried away and give misinformation. All we know is Mike Williams will know he needs to win the race, and Mark Eales will know he's got to come through as far as possible. Anything could happen, any retirement, it could throw everything under the curveball. Let's just enjoy the racing action, shall we, as we call this one. For one last time in 2022, the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup drivers are behind the safety car for the formation lap here, and then it will be lights out, and we will be going in a 20-minute season finale here with the outright title on the line, with third place on the line as well. Tim Shooter just holds the advantage over Matt Simpson. There's still work to do for everybody out there. There's personal pride, there's positions up for grabs, you name it. This is it. This is your last chance saloon. If you're going to do something heroic, this is the race to do it in, because there's no tomorrow. You've got to wait till next year now before you're going to be racing in action again. So go for this one.
2020 champion Jack Ashton, then returning after a few years away, that Bowser there on road 2 alongside Richard Garrard. And then we get Robbie Kenning and Dan Willard.
I can hear them just lining up now. It's going to take a bit of time, of course, because there is 22 Metros. I can see Richard Gerard there in fourth place. I can see Jack Ashton as well. Mike Williams will start on pole position. Jack Ashton alongside him. Dan Bolster there in third, and Richard Gerard in fourth. That's how your top four line up. Who's going to be heading into Riches in first place? Is it going to be Williams? Is it going to be Ashton? He got a bit bogged down at the start of Jack Ashton last time, but he managed to come back and get past Mike Williams. He was leading all the way right up till the end of the race, but a gentleman's agreement meant he slowed down and actually let Mike Williams go through. Very, very good of him, to be fair, because he's a non-championship point scorer in this race, as is Dan Bolster, who will line up in third place. So he certainly doesn't want to get involved in a tangle over either driver. We are about to go racing for the final time for the MG Car Club in 2022 as well. Not just the Metros, but the entire club motorsport section. Always chokes up a bit, doesn't it? Very, very sad. But what a season it has been. A fine, fine campaign for everybody involved at the MG Car Club. The board goes up. The red light is on. Here we go, one last time. It's time to dance with the Metros. Here we go, off we go. Who is it going to be? It looks like it's a good start again from Mike Williams and Jack Ashton. They're neck and neck. Oh, there's been a crash. Tim Shooter and Rob Jessup have had a collision on the start-finish line. It looked like did somebody nudge Tim Shooter or something, because he went off and unfortunately got into the barrier. Not too hard, I don't think. Everybody else gets through turn one. Rich is absolutely fine. But Tim Shooter and Rob Jessup look like they're in the barrier. Looks like they're out of this race. Tim Shooter is definitely out of the race. He's out of the car. Safety car is out. The safety car is out. So around the coming, it's going to slow down a little bit, but safety car is out. Wow, wow, big drama right at the start of this race.
Mark Williams is way up the order. He might be in the top 10 already.
Sorry, it's not Rob Jessup, it's Richard Jessup, isn't it? But he's heading on over. Well, looks like everybody's okay. I think Tim Shooter's gone to see him. Looks like both drivers are out. Both drivers are fine. So please say both drivers are absolutely fine. And Mike Williams just slows the pack down. Very sensible from him. Good stuff. But safety car board is shown. The safety car is out. This could take a little bit of time. I'm not quite sure what happened off the line, but Tim Shooter came flying off over to the left. I just wonder, maybe was he tagged or something? And unfortunately, Richard Jessup was just a passenger in that and was collected and pushed sadly into the barrier. It's just one of those incidents. It's unfortunate. It is motorsport. It does happen, but big, big drama. The most important thing is that both drivers are absolutely fine. They're both out the car. They both had a chat, and they are okay. Well, it's the first time we've actually seen the safety car today. It's not too bad.
That's the first incident we've had all day. We've had 15 racing up to now.
It does happen. It is motorsport. Like I say, the most important thing is that both drivers are absolutely fine, though. I'll pop the camera on so you can see for yourself. As you can see, the van is there just to make sure everybody's okay. But yeah, Tim Shooter and Richard Jessup both out of the car and both absolutely fine. It happened off the start line as well, so they hadn't collected too much speed. In fact, I don't even think Tim Shooter's car hit the barrier at all. And that damage is from the contact with Jessup's car, which is there on the right in the barrier. And it's not the way you want to end a season, is it? It's not the way you want to end any race, really, but incidents do happen. This is motorsport. You can't get away from it. So we've got safety car out. I wondered if they might call a red flag this and just line them up down the pit lane, but it's looking like, what are they going to do? Are they just going to go down the start-finish line? I mean, they could possibly just go down the pit lane here. It would take them out the other side of the inside, or near enough out the other side of the where the two cars are collected by the side of the road. Of course, they're going to have to get the recovery truck over the other side pretty quick. A few clouds knocking around as well. They are just coming down, as you can see. There is Mike Williams just leading the safety car line behind the safety car. Jack Ashton in second place. It's pretty much as you were from the start line. We could have quite a lengthy delay here, I think. Recovery track is just pulling up, actually, just behind Ben Young at the minute. The car's still going around safety car. We'll certainly have another lap or two behind the safety car here. Well, it's one of those things. It is motorsport. It does happen. We've had a great day, though. It's the first time we've actually had to see the safety car out on track during racing conditions during the 2MG Cup and earlier Metro Cup race. Off the line, though, it was a great start by both Mike Williams and Jack Ashton. They were neck and neck going into turn one, but it was Williams who managed to hold it through Riches. So there's a few changes on that opening lap, the opening exchanges there. Obviously the safety car came out pretty quick, the boards are out almost lightning fast, weren't they? As we know, a lot of these changes are really because Tim Shooter and Jessup both out of the race. Did promote Goodwin, he's out 6th, Willis dropped down to 7th though, but Davies, Tyler, Savory, Eels, Simpson and Williams all moved up a place. Moore and Gerrard actually moved down a place. Cowley stayed the same, and then Burnett, Johnson both moved down a place as well. And of course we've lost Shooter, Jessup, and Dick Trivette never, unfortunately, couldn't start the race, didn't start race one either, so there was clearly a terminal issue with that car after qualifying earlier today. But Mark Eels certainly moving up the field quite significantly. There he is, he's got the yellow wheels on the grey car, the number one. He's the defending champion from last year, but his DQ from race one, could that change everything as we find out the results a little bit later on today? Now it's the case, over to you, marshals. Let's see how long it's going to take to clear these cars. So let's pop the camera over there, because the Tim Shooter's car is mid-air right now. We've got a flying Metro. Now that should be a thing. We should stick some wings on them. So Jessup's car on the back of the flatbed as well. Tim Shooter's now has just been popped up too.
Yeah, that would be
and the marshals and the recovery teams doing an excellent job, as they always do. Remember, they are volunteers, so we can't thank you enough. We've said it once, we've said it twice, we'll say it again, and we'll keep saying it as well we should. We don't go racing without the volunteers, the marshals. What an incredible job they do keeping everybody safe. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, what did you make of that start? Did you catch the collision yourself? We did catch it on camera. To be fair, I was looking here, there and absolutely everywhere. And look at that already, the flatbed is moving with Tim Shooter's car, and they're going to have this going pretty quick. They'll just quickly double check that barrier just to make sure it's safe, of course, but the flatbed is on its way already, and unfortunately Tim Shooter's car has looked a little bit healthier before that. Let's hope he can get that fixed and out for next season as well. There goes Jessop's car. Doesn't look like it's got as much damage. I think it was more the rear end of the car. Let's hope there's the damage underneath is as good as it looks out the front, because it doesn't look like there's much at all. So it looks like we'll probably have one more lap behind the safety car, then we should go racing. They are. So the flatbeds have just got to get themselves off the track before we go racing again. I wonder where the cars are, if they're on. They're actually coming down the pit lane, are the cars right now. So they're actually coming down the pit lane, which we thought they might have done last time, but they're coming down the pit lane. So I'm not too sure why they're doing that, if I'm totally honest.
Although we can speed up, can't we? Yeah. The problem is, it's such a long lap, isn't it? Yeah, the thing is to try and make sure the rescue crews and
no, I think they're going through. I'm just trying to listen to the on-course commentary as to why they're actually going through the pit lane, because I'm not sure why you would do that when you could have certainly done it last lap. But I'm hearing it's just to slow everybody down, just to give the recovery trucks enough chance to get off the circuit. They're going to come right back past us again on that recovery road, like we saw with the Midget and Sprite Challenge. So it does mean we should be going racing at the end of this lap. So we should be green flag racing at the end of this lap. That's what we want. We want to see some racing action, don't we? The clock continues to tick, of course. So we are going to be reduced time. We're actually at the halfway stage of this race already.
Good racing. And once we get back underway, interesting to see if this time Jack Action or Dan Bell can try and.
So we are at the halfway stage of this race. Tim Shooter's car is just going to come back past us now. There it goes. Look. I'm pleased to say both drivers are okay. And oh yeah, there is quite a bit of Jessop's car has got a massive dent in the driver's side door and at the back's rear end of the car. So we'll just double check, make sure he is definitely okay. He'll probably just be checked out by the medical just to make sure. But, he did get out of the car. I did see him get out of the car and walk over, so that's good. So we've got 9 minutes left on the clock. So we'll probably, realistically, by the time they get round, have sort of 3 laps racing before the checkered flag closes out the 2022 season here at Snetterton for the MG Car Club. Mike Williams, of course, has led the entire race, of course, behind the safety car, really. As they're going through the midsection here, is a long lap around the Snetterton 300 circuit, isn't it? There is the outer circuit too, which is almost like a giant bowl, really. You take out the middle section, it's straight corner, straight, and then the quorum, really, the bomb hole and quorum. Very, very quick, but this is what we want. We like the midfield section. It really extends the circuit and adds a real dynamism to the track. It really does. That's an additional challenge. So 8 minutes now. The clock is ticking down. So let's hope we can get at least, we should be able to get 3 laps in, I think. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more than that in. So I think we'll have a 3-lap sprint to the finish here for the Hickford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup. So there is the safety car. Its lights are off. As you can see, Mike Williams is just backing everybody up. He's going to make a dash for it very soon. Let that safety car get into the pit lane, out the way. No overtaking until you get over the start-finish line, of course. But you want to get going. And Mike Williams has put, excuse me, he is going. So we are racing now. We are under green flag conditions once again. It is Mike Williams who will lead them up the start-finish straight here. Here we go. We are racing 3 laps, surely. Hopefully at least 3 laps. Off we go. There is your race leader. Look at Jack Ashton. He's tucked in nicely right behind. Look at that. He's really going for the slipstream. He's not fighting for the championship, so I don't think he's going to push too hard or hassle him. Richard Gerard going very well there as well. Nicely spaced out, though, because of the safety car. Mark Eales trying to make a late dive on Chris Savory. And can't quite get through that way, but he's going to make a good run to Wilson, the tight hairpin. Neil Burnett getting past Richard Cowley as well. Ben Young absolutely flying too. And here they come now into Palmer for the first time under proper racing conditions. There is your leader, Mike Williams, absolutely flying through at the minute. The cars are going great guns at the minute. Here they come. Now, I don't see Kyler Gerard either, so looks like we've lost Kyler Gerard from this race. Mark Eales did get past Chris Savory. Now he's all over the back of Tim Davies as well. He's got to go for this. He needs to get as many places as he possibly can. I think, unfortunately... Oh, I said, oh, Mike Williams is slow and he's got a problem. I don't believe it. Mike Williams has got smoke pouring out the back of his car. Oh, my word, this is absolutely huge drama. Mike Williams' car, he's absolutely pouring smoke out the back. Oh, I don't believe it for him. This is terrible. And Mark Eales can see it. And he knows that the championship is his if he can get past and go for it. Oh, my word. And then Williams pulls off to the side of the circuit. That will surely be a retirement. I don't believe it. Oh, what a shame that is for him. He's such a nice guy, is Williams, but he's out of this race. He is out of this race. And now Mark Eales knows he's got to get past as many cars as possible. He was DQ'd from race 1, but he did have the championship lead coming into this race. My word, is that just handed Mark Eales the championship? My word.
Another one up towards Runcorn, see Mike Williams, not doing work out this equation. But,
well, this is huge. Huge. Oh, well, Jack Ashton inherits the lead. I'm just trying to hear over the on-course commentators as well, just to see what does Mark Eales need to do in order to win the championship here. So Richard Gerard is actually the leader of the championship point scorers right now. Ashton leading the way. There's Balstow in second. There is Richard Gerard in third. There's Robbie Kennan in fourth. We have lost Kyler Gerard. Well, I say lost, she's in the pits. There's Goodwin. There is Mark Eales going through. That's Dan Willers and Les Tyler. So Mark Eales has absolutely flown. He's now up to 6th place on track. Wow, Eales is absolutely flying now. So to come round Palmer, just trying to overhear what Eales needs to do. We think he might need 2 more. He's going to have to get past Phil. We might have to get past Robbie Kennan as well. So can Eales do it? With 2 laps of this race to go. Well, this is incredible, isn't it? Jack Ashton going for this. Bolson behind. There's Richard Gerard as well. Perhaps he spies an opportunity. We spoke to Robbie Kennan earlier. He said, I just want a podium. What a way it would be to end the season. He's got a real sniff of an opportunity as Kenning as well now. Cars going through like you wouldn't believe. Unfortunately, Kyler Gerard's still in the pits. Let's hope she can get back out, at least just for one final lap. That would be nice to see. but time is running out. Of course, it just flies by. That safety car just wiped out the time, unfortunately, and we only have one more lap to go after this one.
Fifth position in the race, if he gets there, which I think might be enough for the championship, potentially.
So fifth will be a net third, won't it?
Yeah, that's right. I think that would equal points for Mike Williams, which then goes to countback, which I think would go Mark Yields' favour. But to be sure, he probably wants to gain another place out of this, if he can.
So we think, listen to the on-course commentator as well, Mark Eales needs to get, he's technically got a net fourth at the minute because we know Ashton and Bolster are not scoring points, but he needs at least another place, does Mark Eales, to be sure of the title. At the minute, we think it might still be going to Mark Williams. However, Eales needs to get past Goodwin, and he'll probably be desperate to get past Kennan as well. I don't think he's going to catch Garrard. Garrard's lights the blaze. Look, he wants this one. Richard Garrard wants this. He does. There's Kennan going very well indeed. There is Eales. He's got past Goodwin. He's got past Goodwin. Now he will be after Kennan, just to guarantee this is the final lap of the race. Will that be enough? Will a net third be enough for Mark Eales to claim the championship? My word, this is going to go down to the calculators, I think. What a way to finish the season. My word, I know it's not how Tim Shooter or Jessup wanted to finish the campaign, but it has been an absolute cracker. And Jack Ashton gets out the way. Ashton gets out the way. How nice is that of him? So Ashton gets out the way. Surely they're going to let Richard Garrard take the checkered flag in first place. Now, Eales in the net, technically in net third place, is flying a 2:25.440 last time round. Bolster's going to get out of the way. Richard Garrard is going to come over and get past Shorley and take the checkered flag in first place. So Eales is technically a net third place. Now we think that might do it. We think that might be enough for the championship. The track starts to get a little bit greasy. There's a few spits of rain just knocking down at the minute. It's not going to make a difference now. We are on the final lap of the race. Matt Simpson, by the way, making a move. He's up to 10th at the expense of Savoury, who drops down to 11th. I don't think it's going to be enough though, because Shooter finished 7th in race 1. So Simpson has to better. He has to finish 6th basically. I don't think he's going to do it.
Mark Yields is now 4th in the race.
Well, so Jack Ashton has dropped down as well. As we said, he's a non-scorer. I wonder if it was more a problem as opposed to actually stopping. We've got a few spits of rain coming down, but the race is about to finish. The clock has ticked down. The checkered flag is out. Is Bolster going to hand the win to Richard Garrard? It'd be quite nice if he did, didn't he? Remember, Bolster is not a championship contender. It is Richard Garrard, though, who is going to be first of the championship technical, the people who can score points can't get me words out. I'm that excited. So here they come, one final time up through Murray's onto the start-finish straight for the final time in 2022 for the MG Car Club and the Metro Cup. They're going to come over the line. Is Bolster going to hand the win to Garrard? Is he going to stick around it? It is Dan Bolster who takes the checkered flag in first place. It's Richard Garrard who comes home in second place, but that technically wins of the drivers who can take the points. Robbie Kenny got his podium. Yes, he did. Robbie Kenny gets his podium. Fantastic stuff, and we think that might be the title for Mark Eales. Incredible stuff, just in time because my voice has literally died an absolute death. Aston dropping down the field, looks like Savoury has as well. The car's coming over the line, arms out the window. We are going to go get ourselves up to Parc Ferme as quick as we possibly can because we want to chat to the drivers. And whilst we do that, let's pop TSL onto the screen so you can digest the action here. What a race it has been, my word. Well, that was drama personified, wasn't it there? My word. Congratulations, Dan Bolster, by the way. He takes the win, although he doesn't score any championship points. He's guesting sort of an invitational class, I suppose, if you will. Robbie Kenny got his podium. I'm so happy for him. And Mark Hill's also got the fastest lap of the race. Now, is that enough for the championship? He had, what did I say, 7 or 8 points on Mike Williams coming into this race. But of course, he was DQ'd from race 1. Williams won it, and this race he finishes 3rd, and Mike Williams, of course, retires. Either way, it's going to be incredibly tight, isn't it? It's one we'll put to Emma Cross if we can. And I really want to chat to Robbie Kennan as well. Well, the sun is it's getting quite dark already here. But it's been a cracker. It really has. It's been an emotional ride. It's been a roller coaster. Go on, Dan. Well done, mate. Still got it in you, come on. It was a good race though, when it of course interrupted by the safety car, but then it was a 3-lap sprint.
I take it 2 guys were right, were they?
Both got out of the car okay, so yeah, it looked like they're okay. But,
no, well impressed with that, yeah. I was a bit surprised to see Mike stop, and then obviously Jack's only here for a bit of fun anyway, and so yeah, it's a win.
Well done. Congratulations, well done. And we just had these 2 boys here as well. Richard. Look at that grin, look at his face right here, congratulations. Was that as intense for you as it was for me watching you lot?
Yeah, no, it's good. It was good. We didn't start getting all slippy, and it was even better.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Let's grab a chat with Mark. Mark, I ain't got a clue.
Mate, I ain't got a clue either.
I thought you might just tell me.
People were asking me before the race, and I was like, well, unless Mike don't finish, which hardly ever happens when you're racing him, I don't know. I still don't know where we stand, because I just assumed the championship was done. What a race! Obviously, I hope the guys all right. I sort of see,
did get out. Did see him get out of the car, so yeah.
But as far as racing, it was like a proper little sprint race, wasn't it? At the end,
we'll get the calculator.
And of course, when I see Mike, I just go.
Yeah, I saw that. Fastest lap as well. I think you all probably wanted, but well done anyway. Come on, Robbie. I think I'm your good luck charm, aren't I, right?
Oh, don't. It's been hard. But we're there. I've managed to get a podium. So
perfect way to end the season,
accomplished.
Right? I feel like you actually won the race. You know?
No, I don't. I'm coming down the start-finish straight thinking, I really want to get as close to Rich as I can. But by that point, he's gone. I'm thinking in my car, it's the best result we've had after coming out of Alton Park. So no, really enjoyable, and car was on song.
Happy for you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Cheers,
congratulations. Right, I just want to see if we can find somebody.
I think one is.
Right, Matt, well done, mate. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could find. Where's Emma? Where is everybody? Look at that father-son here as well. Look at this. Let's capture this little moment. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Where is Emma Cross? Where are they? Oh, there she is. There's Emma Cross right there. She's right there, look. Right, we'll grab a word of her as soon as we can. We'll let her go whilst we try and figure out what's happened and who's been done what. Now, what we will do across the social media channels on the Hitford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup is we will let you know the official championship standings for you. I just saw Emma Cross and she said, don't come talk to me just yet. So she's got to go talk to some stuff. And it looks like something is happening, but keep abreast of the social media channels for the Hitford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup. Bit of a party atmosphere here. Something might be about to change. Who knows? Who knows? But what a season it has been for the Hitford Construction Limited MG Metro Cup. I really hope you've enjoyed our coverage all throughout the year. We are going to go and I'm going to go get some Lemsips and rest my voice for a little bit. Don't forget, make sure you do hit subscribe to our YouTube channel, Live Sport Now. We've still got more Live Motorsport in 2022 to bring you. I've been your host, Ian Waterhouse, and until next time, drive safely.